And happy Friday evening, everyone, and welcome to a show. And like I said, we're a little bit later than normal, but hey, we are here.
But
What
that
can I say?
introduction, if that didn't wake him up, nothing will. That thing
Hey.
rocks. I love it. I can get stuff done in the behind the scenes and be able to join and jump right on in.
Well, before we get with our guest, I wanted to say we are looking extremely forward to February. No, I'm not announcing anything yet, but I will say we do have what we're going to be calling a launch party, which is a singer's single coming out in February. And we're going to have her on the show. And no, I'm not going to say who because we're going to talk about the song on the show. But that's coming out. We have a gaming company who's supposed to be calling me tomorrow. That's actually in Japan. That's going to be on the show. I have some other people I'm talking to that are just confirming dates. And I do know we have a voice actress from DBZ coming on in February. And of course, we're going to be at San Angelo rocking it there for their Comic-Con.
Can't wait.
So definitely going to be a great February, and March is right after that. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
But
and then April is right after that.
Yes.
And
during
what's
April,
happening on April Fool's Day, Mr. Garrett? That would be CyPhaCon.
That would be CyPhaCon.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. I knew you were coming with me somewhere. Walk with
We're
me.
totally not joking about it either.
So what possessed you to start it on April Fool's Day for real?
So it was a scheduling thing about 3 years ago when we booked the venue. He goes, so just to let you know, your event's going to fall on April Fool's Day. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. I said it was the only day we could get the entire venue. And
Nice.
It was actually, we normally hold it either before or after Easter. So we're 2 weeks actually before Easter this year, which is fine. But yeah, it just the way it turned out, and everybody's like, oh, that's a date to remember. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a good thing. You can always remember April 1st, and they would say it's a con that day. So that's actually a kind of a memorable way of coming back for our 10th anniversary.
I mean, honestly, people ask me when CyPhaCon is. I say April Fool's Day. And they're like, are you kidding me? No, it's easy to remember. It's on April Fool's Day. I mean, how brilliant is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I would like to ask about some of the guests that you have coming. Let's talk about them. I mean, were they hard to get, easy to get? Are you excited about having them? And who are they? Because nobody, well, I know you've announced some of them, but I'm not sure if everybody here knows or not.
So a lot of our guests were holdovers from 2020. We managed to get most of them back. Very lucky to do that because we have a show canceled like we did 2 years ago. It was very hard for us to try to get things going. So every year, even we were hoping for 21 to be the year, but obviously it didn't happen. Toward the end of the year, when things started opening up, it was a little easier to do. And now you're seeing this year, even with the Omicron wave or whatever, they're still holding events like normal. Nothing is changing at this point. So most of the guests that are going to these things, the only thing that's really holding them up are flights. But by the time the event happens, I don't think it's going to be any issue. So we managed to get 5 of our guests back confirmed. Doug Jones, no introduction, no, you don't have to worry about who he is. You know, it's some tall dude that dresses up in makeup. Tim Russ, our favorite Vulcan on Star Trek Voyager.
Nice.
We have Eric Vale Aaron Dismuke and Sarah Weidenheft, who are our other anime voice actors from 2020 that we managed to resecure for this event. Unfortunately, we had one cancel, which was Christina V. She canceled a lot of events this year. We're not really sure what was going on, but you know what? Hey, it happens. We've had it happen numerous times over the years, and you plug your way through. And we ended up getting 2 guests for the price of one. 2 wanted to come down at the same time, so we said, "Hey, let's do it." So we got Danny Chambers and John Swayze.
Nice.
And we're working on some more guests. We got another sci-fi guest to announce. We're still working on the contracts for that. And we're going to offer some featured guests. They won't be our main lineup, but they'll be there. And something we're going to try a different little setup this year with the guesting and see how it works. It's good to experiment every once in a while. Other conventions do it. Why not? Why not us?
Well, I know the one I'm looking forward to. Take a guess.
Yeah. Tim Russ.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
Spivak himself.
Tim's a good guy.
Yay. I'm excited.
He's freaking awesome. Oh yeah.
Now
Well, I'll
the other
going covering for the con hour. I'm not going as a vendor, so I get to float around and flitter through the place and interview everybody I can. So how hard is it to maybe possibly interview Tim Russ? Is
I
that
wouldn't
a
do it while he's
possibility?
busy.
That would probably
Well, no.
be easier. It would probably be easier than Doug.
Okay.
Doug has to. That's going to be a very interesting. Everybody's going to want to interview Doug, and that's going to be very hard to get everybody in there. So it's going to be a cherry pick for that one, more than likely.
I want to interview Tim Russ.
I know. No,
She's a
that
diehard
shouldn't
Star
be a
Trek
problem at
fan.
all.
I'm the Star
No,
Trek
no, that-
cosplayer right there. That's me.
I know, and you're on the bridge of Voyager. I see that.
Mhm. Yep.
No, Tim, it shouldn't be hard.
No, I'm super
Now-
excited.
I don't like you just said. I mean, y'all have had it hard. I mean, y'all had the pandemic and then 2 hurricanes, but
Yeah.
last October you actually had a mini event also. How did that go for y'all?
Yes. So the mini event was pretty good. The main focus of that event was more esports, and that's going to play into something that's going to happen later this year. We're planning an October event for esports. We're not sure how we're going to do it yet. Everything's in flux right now. I'm not even concentrating on that so much as we know the dates, which is the second weekend of October is what we're looking at, 2 weeks before Halloween. It's all like, paperwork still got to get taken care of. But yeah, those dates were penciled in for us. So we've got the venue if we need it for all 3 days. No, the event was good. The main reason we did this event in October was because people did not know we were still around. We got questions like, we thought y'all were gone. We thought that this was it. You were out for the count. In June, we rebranded, new logo thing.
I think it's
He's glitching.
CyPhaCon.
Garrett,
And
you're
that's when we
glitching.
started the promotion for October. Yeah. It's probably the internet.
yeah. I think you're just coming back. It was just a couple of glitches there. But another thing I wanted to ask you, hopefully you're still with us, is the cosplayers. You have a couple of cosplay groups coming, or cosplayers, not groups. but
Yes.
cosplayers.
Yeah, we've got 2 confirmed right now. And
Hey, Doc Ock.
there Oh, there he is. We have Space Line Cosplay and Sarah Catherine. Space Line's out of Tennessee, and Sarah's out of New Orleans.
Okay.
And we have 2
And
more
then-
from the New Orleans area we're going to be pulling in soon.
Well, I also know that you have 2 authors that are going to be there for sure, which is me and Veronica. Have you talked to any of the other authors? Are they returning yet? And I think
You and Veronica are the
okay.
confirmed ones, and in the
Okay.
next week or so, I'll be confirming with everybody else.
Okay.
I know. Chris will not be coming back. She's out because of COVID. she wants to just stay away from the convention scene for right now.
Yeah, it's understandable because each person has her own. Each person has her own, and it's like for me, it's like I gotta go, especially after my year. I gotta go. That's just I gotta get away. That's
Was that, and then there's your con family. I mean, 2020 we were like not allowed, and then 2021 was kind of sporadic here and there. More toward the end of the year was like a mad race for the Comic Cons, and so it's like we need that as a Comic Con family member. You need that IV of Comic Con-ness in you each month to keep going because the energy of it.
Yeah.
You just it's like an addiction. You have to go.
what do we have here?
Exactly.
Conventions are most missed. So excited for cons returning.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. And I believe Caleb is from the Frickin' Frack show. And that's a pretty good show. Y'all ought to listen to that. I did go and listen to it. They're definitely
they'll be covering the convention for us.
Very nice.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
so don't be fighting us, Caleb.
Come on, Caleb, work with us. I'll work with you. You work with me. We can do a couple together if you want. I have no problem. I'll be floating around though, and I'm famous for lots and lots of interviews. Sure, look me up. Garrett, how was it when those two hurricanes hit you? Because they were almost like a 1-2 punch on top of COVID. On top of it was just like, are you kidding me right now? How did you guys deal with all that?
Yeah, so 2020 will never be forgotten for multiple reasons for us. Yeah, I mean,
the first one that hit you head on
because
he's glitching.
Head on, and the second one's head on too.
Yeah, the first one that hit you, the one that was the first. I think it was Maria. Was it? No.
Laura.
Which one was the one? Laura. That went up. It actually
Laura.
skirted Lufkin where I'm at. So you guys got smacked like right on. And it was not an easy smack. It was still a Cat 1 by the time
the eye wall went right over us.
Next state. Yeah. So I know we tried to get generators there, some people, and so what was that like? I mean, besides discouraging because you lost the cons, but your house and everything is all in the path of that.
The first 3 weeks was rough. No power. I mean, it was bad.
Well, definitely glad y'all are okay.
And I mean, most of our homes were okay. Quite a few of us had very bad damage on the homes. Some of them they're just now moving in this week.
Oh wow!
Gives you a time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had that, and then you had COVID, where they couldn't do a lot of work to help you.
A remodel.
And I think didn't the convention also have a little bit of damage, or I know the bridge did, because I'm still upset about losing Isla Capri.
I think he froze again on us.
That's okay. We know it's his internet, but we can still talk.
So Elsa's giving us grief now, and we're trying to tell her to let it go, let him go. Elsa frozen.
Oh God.
Oh come on, that was funny.
Oh God. CJ just pulled a dad joke.
Anubis would have been proud.
Yes, he would have. Hey, he might be here.
He's wearing off on me. What can I say? That was good. Come on, that was good.
Hopefully he'll be returning here shortly. But yeah, that was definitely internet.
He was frozen. Elsa, let him go.
She just engulfed him. Like,
yeah, she did.
I'm taking him with me.
He didn't take the hint the first few times. Let me try to just completely freeze him and get it over with. But I'm excited. This is my first year at CyPhaCon. So since you've been there a lot, what is it like?
Actually, I've been waiting for 2 years. I was supposed to be there the year the pandemic hit. And then I was, all right, well, I'll get there for the next year, which is right after the 2 hurricanes. And then now, finally, this is, like you said, 3 years. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I know Veronica Smith is excited.
Let's try this again on my cell phone.
There you go.
There we go. You can actually turn it sideways.
I said that Elsa wouldn't let you go. And I said, Elsa, let him go. And he said, that was a dad. It took him a second to register, I think, about what I said. And I'm like, come on, that was good.
Yeah, I think this is going to work a lot better. So we had Laura, and just in the process of getting, we're got a roof on the house like 2 weeks before Delta hit. Then we had to deal with almost flooding in the house. That didn't happen. And, toward the end of the year, we're like, hurricane season's over, thank God. Most of us fared better than others.
Mm-hmm.
House was still there, but we had a lot of damage in the house, a lot of water damage from where the windows were, the seals and everything. And, and here we are a year and a half later fighting with, insurance, and you finally get everything you need, and you finally get started again. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But no, I mean, during all of that, we knew at the beginning of the year that 2021 wasn't going to happen. And so I reached out to the celebrities and I said, hey, let me go ahead and book them for 2022. I said, third time's the charm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we did Doug immediately. And thankfully with all the flights, they all roll over, because the COVID had just extended the flights and they just let you carry your tickets over. So mostly everybody was good. Now, all of our voice actors, most of them are all coming from Dallas or Houston. So
easy drive.
Some of them are going to be driving, like that. Yeah. And we told them, it's like we suffered a hardship that 2 years of not having a convention, it drains your finances. Every year we do pretty good, enough to keep us going. Mm-hmm. And thankfully we've had some very amazing sponsors that have said, hey, we're here to help you.
Now, and you said this is your 10th year?
This will be our 10th main event. Yep.
So what made you start CyPhaCon?
That's an interesting story. Without going into too many specifics, we worked at another event, and it was a pure sci-fi event. And after the second event, we decided that, we were saying, hey, we need to try to do different things to grow your event. And, we were basically said, well, this is the way it's going to work. And I think it'll be this way and we'll be good with it. And we just said, okay. So we decided that, well, since you're doing yours, we're going to go do a different one. We're going to do an anime and gaming event. And some of the staff that was working with him, we did our own, but we started an anime gaming event because we knew that was an area that event wasn't touching, wasn't even hitting. Mm. So just in our first year, we hit the combined 2 years of that other event in our first event.
Nice.
Basically, 500 people showed up and we had no guests. We had gaming, we had the mech pods, we had a contest, we had fan groups, and we just did panels, and we had some card gaming. That was it. That was our first year. No guests. Second year, we said, well, if we did it successfully, we're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. Formula number 2, we got 3 guests for our second year, had about 650 people show up. And then it kept going. So when we hit our 5th anniversary, we doubled. We went from almost 800 people to 1,600 that 1 year.
Wow.
And as we were growing going into 19, we were really like, hey, we're going to probably hit 4,000 or 5,000 people for 20. Everything was looking like everything on social media. Everything was just plugging away. Mm-hmm. Everything. And we were about a month out. And we had one of the agents said, hey, we've got 3 guests that want to come down. Just give them a hotel room and they're all yours. We had 10 guests for the 10th anniversary. We were like, yes. About to order everything, about to, badges, everything. Literally, I was on an email chain with the guy to order all their badges 4 weeks out. So we make sure we got them in. We don't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. And then we see that the governor's going to have press conference. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. And we had a meeting the day before, that Thursday night, and we were saying, we think it's going to happen. We need a plan. What are we going to do? And we discussed it in length for almost 2 hours because we kind of figured what was going to happen. We knew we couldn't refund the money. That was basically going to keep us going through at least 20.
Mhm.
That was the plan. We figured by 21 it should be fine. So we upgraded everybody's tickets. We bought them locally. We rolled over all the vendors. They understood, except for like 5 or 6. They were in like New York, and they were very like, we got to have our money back. We reluctantly refunded their money because we understood the situation, but everybody else understood that we have a policy where we don't refund the money. It's just we're too small of an event to where we don't have millions of dollars sitting in our bank that we can just say here and we're still going to be fine.
Mhm.
But no, I mean, literally 99% of everybody that was either bought a ticket for 20 or a vendor, they had no problem with it. They rolled everything over to 21. And we upgraded everybody's tickets to something better, which they're going to get in 2 months. You know, it's not big perks, but it's the least we can do for making them understand, like, thank you for letting us, and thank you for putting us through this and letting us survive on your generosity for the last few years.
Mhm.
I mean, it's hard to describe the kind of stress we go under for this. I'm more stressed now than I was in 2021, the end of it, because I know now we're only 70 something days away, and I don't feel like I'm seeing the return I used to see because the way social media is doing it now,
Mhm.
the way things are, the way, let's say, Facebook does advertising, where I put a certain amount here, you would see a return immediately. Now it's like you see a tenth of a return for what you pay. In the time frame of 2 years, it went from here to here. So you're not, you hit a demographic, but you're not hitting demographic. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but
You're hitting the target, but they're not being allowed to see it.
right. You're paying more to be seen, but the problem with that is that they don't allow you to be seen as much as you used to be.
Mhm.
So I've got multiple ads running concurrently until the event. I still haven't done the guest ones yet because that's going to be, I'm going to do a combos, like, you know, do all my sci-fi guests and all my anime guests, and then specifically target them to the audiences that they would love to see them.
Have you tried TikTok?
I personally will never put it on my phone.
Okay.
At my career and my normal day job as an IT professional, I refuse to put TikTok on my phone. I have seen way too much in the background of what it does, and I am beyond not comfortable with it. So
That's fine. I was just thinking extra.
Oh no, I know. We talked about it, but I talked to my staff and I said, even though it would probably bring us a lot, the risk is not worth it. Especially when we all use our phones with our connected accounts on them. Just it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and like Instagram is also that younger generation. I think you're looking for.
No, Instagram. On the other hand, we are really hitting that hard this year. Mm-hmm. We have seen a major uptick in just likes.
Good.
So we've gone more visual. Obviously, it takes a lot out of me to do it, but the more we do on Instagram, the more we're seeing returns on the Facebook. Mm-hmm. So it's circular, which is great. Twitter is not so much. We hit it when we can. It just doesn't have the reach that you can get with Instagram or Facebook. Mm-hmm. But that being said,
that's actually a good question. Trevor asked, what about college ads, like colleges in your area?
Yeah, so we can do it. It's a little tricky though. They can put it up in the art department, like a poster or something like that, but they cannot put it on campus. It's the rules of the university.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've had staff that have been, students there before, and that was the only way to do it in the art department to put it up there. But everybody in the art department knew about it, so it was counterproductive to just go put it in there. It's like, hey, we know it's coming. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. But no, what we're focusing on now is more grassroots, especially this year. Used to we were going to go on television for the first time, do a major television campaign. Mm-hmm. Not this year, obviously. Mm-hmm. Not even remotely worth it. So we usually do billboards. We'll do billboards at a very limited number. Normally we're running it for 2 months straight, which is great in a local area where you can get a billboard going. So we might only have it for a month, if we can even get a month, maybe even a week. The money's tight. Even, we're not selling as many pre-reg sales in town at the comic book store because guess what? They were already sold for 2020. They're not buying duplicate tickets. But what we have been doing is we went ahead and spent more on the one thing everybody can physically grab, and that's flyers. So I'm not going to lie when I say this. We ordered 1,000 posters and 47,000 flyers.
That's a lot of flyers.
That's a lot of flyers.
I mean, we're like Charles is actually kind of centrally located between like New Orleans and Houston and like even Lufkin and Alexandria. There's a lot of things. You're pretty centrally located in
Baton Rouge is around
Baton
there.
Rouge isn't too far.
Yeah,
so you've got a lot of good sized cities near you.
Yeah, so Houston, you put Lake Charles on anything there, it's not even they know who it is. I mean, they go there all the time for the casinos. The reason I'm here this weekend is for this particular reason. Putting out flyers, putting out posters in key areas around Houston, and getting with the people that I trust the most over here that can go to different places. We found it's really interesting where you can put these posters and flyers. Coffee shops are like top number one. Restaurants are second. But if you really want to hit your demographic, you go to the core, and that's comic book shops.
Yes.
You don't even put that as number one. This is guaranteed. That's your first get. You don't even have to even rank that because that should be your de facto place to go. Is a comic book store where all this stuff happens.
Right.
So yeah, I'll be spending a very large amount of time tomorrow driving around Houston doing all this, which is going to be fun. But I promise I'll take a night off and go do something in the city and go grab some dinner somewhere. But during the day, it's going to be pretty hectic for me.
Yeah, there's a big area to cover. I mean,
I'm
80 square
going to be
miles?
driving close to 200 something miles in the Houston metro area tomorrow.
Yeah, because like I said, it's 80 square miles, Houston alone.
It'll be about 200. Start north and work my way south. That's pretty much how I'm going to do it. And work my way back up north and then do a little loop-de-loop.
Well, I mean, seriously though, it's on April Fool's Day. They really can't forget that if they kind of keep that thought in mind. I mean, that like stands out.
Yeah, and that was the kind of and I told somebody, I said that might be one of the best things that may have happened because we've got it on a date that people can't forget. It's a good day. At that time of the year, it's really temperate, really good. Not too hot, not too cold. Sometimes it's cold, which has been fantastic. Some mornings we get up at like 50 degrees or 40 degrees in the morning, and people are in costume. They love it. I mean, we love it.
Those costumes are hot.
That's like the best time of the year to do this.
It's not quite hurricane season, just slightly into tornado season, but you still should be okay.
We ain't talking about hurricane season no more. Y'all been through that too.
No. Hurricane, no.
Hurricane, no.
Tornadoes are more towards the end of April anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It's just slightly into tornado season. You're not near hurricane, so you're okay.
Don't put that negative stuff out there.
You keep
You're doing it on April Fool's Day. How is that putting negative stuff out there? I mean, come on.
I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, I know. It's good stuff.
You're just tempting the fates, and that's a Louisiana person. You're tempting the fates.
Not really. We've already did that. Look, I will say 2020, we've already did that 3 times already in a row. We had a pandemic. We had 2 hurricanes. We paid our dues on that one. So
I agree.
And yeah, John's right. It is a nice. It's really
nice
the best weather that time of the year. Is like our favorite time of the year.
March and April are
like March and April are perfect. Yep.
And like you said, that's really what best time for the cosplay outfits because I mean, even the one that I have, which is my Viking pirate that I call it, that leather gets hot.
And technically, I was telling somebody, I said, April is the start of the fall, is the start of the spring con season.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kicking it off right there. So there was one thing we were worried. There's one thing we're worried about, and that is attendance, because Lake Charles lost 10% of its population.
Mm.
Now, a lot of that population was in areas of town where they were devastated pretty bad. They never came back. It was kind of the Katrina moment, for Lake Charles.
Mm-hmm.
A lot have come back. A lot of the apartment complexes that were destroyed, they're reopening. So people are coming back home again, which is great. There are parts of the city where you drive by and you will go, yeah, there's a hurricane that hit there, and there's a big blue building. Can't miss it. It's full of plywood. But, I told somebody, I said, going back to the October event, we had to put on a show to show that we were around, and to prove to people we weren't knocked out. It was also an opportunity to promote the April event, because most people didn't even know we had an April event. And, there's different avenues of doing it, but the best is to show it in person and to actually show that we did it. Because if you don't prove that you're back in any way, shape, or form,
Then
they're going to think you're just blowing smoke. And that's not what we're doing.
No, and you're coming back strong. You have some strong guests. So.
Yeah, and there's some other events that were going to take place, I guess, this weekend that ended up getting canceled because of COVID. But
Beaumont.
Yeah, the Beaumont show. But
Southeast Texas Comic Con.
yeah, I saw their announcement, and I told my staff, I said, don't get any ideas on the week we're doing it. Lock yourselves inside your houses and do not come out. None of us are going to get sick that week.
Started March 1st. Lock yourself in. Don't go anywhere for an entire month. That way, if it's in your system, it's out by the time April starts.
Yeah. But no, we're making a lot of changes. The big one was the Coliseum and using that, and getting to figure stuff out. That was actually one of the best things that could have happened to us, was actually having the October event and having the entire weekend in that Civic Center, to where we could change everything we wanted to change then. Because if we would have had to do it now, it would have been horrendously bad. And I don't mean in a bad way of us hurting ourselves. I meant in a bad way of us logistically doing certain things we wanted to do, but we didn't have a way to play it out. So one aspect was the way the booths were set up. The setup we're going to have next year, they're going to have 10-foot aisles, just like any other convention or Comic-Con. They're 10-foot aisles, and that's it. And we're gonna make that work. It's just gonna be a little more. It's gonna be cramped. And they've done shows like this. They can fit 90 booths in that Coliseum. 90. Nice. So that's our number. We're gonna lock in with. And how it's gonna work is when you walk in that Coliseum, all the stadium seating is gonna be open. If you want to sit, you can sit there during the weekend. You can relax. If you don't want to be on the crowded floor, go up there and look, and you can look down on everybody and just relax.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we thought of Pensacon actually does that in their venue.
So now, is there food so people can get their food and sit down and just kind of watch?
Yes. So the idea is when you walk in, you're gonna hit the vendors first, then you're gonna hit the artists, the back row, and then you'll hit your celebrities. So you have to go all the way through to get to your celebrities. Just like any traditional show. Those are the best ones that work. Your high dollar booths in the front, your artists in the back, and your celebrities. So they get kicked back from the celebrities while they're waiting for the celebrity autographs. They're looking at the art. The artists get their cut. So we're using the old traditional formats, the ones that I've seen work at hundreds of other conventions. That we're not gonna skimp on that. So that's how we're gonna do it. Our registration process is gonna be more streamlined. Pre-reg is going to be by the front door, and the badges are going to be where the pre-reg used to be. It'll just be strictly badges. People from Ticketmaster go there, get your badge, and walk in the door. Having 3 separate lines should help with the flow in the Civic Center. That's what we were talking about when we were there. We were just trying to figure out different things while we were, do a slow event.
Mm-hmm.
When the big one happens, it's going to be a cluster. And we know it's going to be. Every time we've had it, we've had these little bursts of people coming in. Oh, it's 1 o'clock, and they got about 200 people out the door. Well, those 3 people that get the badges, they can't handle it. It's not going to happen. Another thing, we switched over to a different security, and we have the LCPD doing the security now, which means now we have active checkpoint at the beginning at the front of the Civic Center.
Nice.
So bag checks, everything like this. I will tell you that their comment to me at the event, they go, "Oh, can we come back? This is the easiest event we've ever run." I'm like, "This is how it's always been." They go, "Okay, really? We don't normally do this." And I'm like, "But this is kind of cool. We like seeing the costumes and the people around." I said, "Look, if you want to come back, I got you.
Welcome to the Comic-Con family."
Right.
That's how we roll.
That's the experience. And it's good to have law enforcement that joke around with you and have a good time too, because it lightens the mood around you. Because if they're smiling and they're having a good time, everybody's going to feel more comfortable around them. They're there to protect them. That's what they're there for. They're here to protect everybody. And it's just a neat little. We told them, lighten up, have a good time, joke with everybody. They're going to joke back with you, And that's what we did on that Sunday. It was just an endless amount of just having a good time, and just like everybody's mood in that building was just like really chill. It was really an interesting feeling, because normally when you have officers and everything, people get tensed up and they're like, oh, kind of scary and everything. But it's nice to have that feeling of they're there to protect you, but they're gonna joke around with you every once in a while and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Back to the question about the hotel.
Yep.
I thought. Our hotels in town, we have 5 that are still being rebuilt. They will not be ready for the convention, obviously. We do have the Spring Hill Suites, which we managed to get another 10 room blocks for doubles. And we understand the price is a little high, but that's going to be everywhere in Lake Charles right now because most of the hotels are still being renovated. It's one of those things where we couldn't exactly get the low price like we normally do. We normally would be getting a room block for like a 110 a night or 109 a night. Hell, we even got them down to 99 a night at one point in time when all the hotels in the area were all open. So 22 is going to be an interesting year, with that. But they did assure us that in 23 they will be lowering the price. That's a guarantee.
Have you talked to any of the casinos maybe?
So that will more than likely not happen. Okay. Typically with those, they don't like doing events or blocks unless you're doing it in their venue.
Got it.
That's understandable.
The only other exception I would assume would be if they're sponsoring an event and they can give you room blocks, but that's something that's completely different. But the Spring Hill's been our hotel for the last 12 years. They remodeled 2 years ago, right before the hurricanes were remodeled, actually. Oh. Had a little bit of damage, but the building is concrete and steel.
Nice.
I mean, literally, the Residence Inn next door had significant damage because it was a traditional hotel setup. So that building is still being renovated. All their double rooms, which are rooms very similar to what this one is that I'm staying in right now, they're off limits. You can't even book them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, we got hotel rooms. The double rooms you can put 5 people in each room. That's the hotel policy. And the single rooms, you can put 3 people in them. And the price is pretty decent for that. But I understand a lot of people like, pooling their resources. They go to these conventions that, save money. I'm guilty of it myself. Been there, done that. Fit 7 or 8 people in a room, DragonCon. Which I'm at the point now where I'm past that, and I will refuse to put that many people in a room because of that kind of event like that is a vacation for me, and I don't want to be with 7 people in that room, even though we're all really good friends. I want to go take a nap, I want to go take a nap.
Yeah.
Chances are with two other people, they're not going to show up in your room at the same time as 7 other people would. But no, hotel rooms are there. The room blocks are open. We can get more if we need them. The Residence Inn, I'm going to put those room blocks up probably this week, maybe even tomorrow when I get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Hotels are not near the convention center. No convention center hotels nearby because it's just the way downtown is built.
Mm-hmm.
All these hotels are near the casinos, which are about 9 minutes away from the Civic Center, which is not a big deal. Not at all. Where these hotels are located are also a ton of restaurants around them in a very nice area of town.
Mm-hmm.
They just built a brand new Buffalo Wild Wings, brand new Arby's. We have a Crust Pizza. All these restaurants that would be nice nearby. If people want to go and eat in that area, they can. But we try to tell people, it's like, go eat downtown. And one of the things that we do that most other conventions do not do, one of the 3 special events we do is a pub crawl on Friday night.
Oh, fun.
So we get all of our local restaurants involved
Mm-hmm.
that want to be participating in the event. Usually they do because it's a lot of money for a Friday night,
Yeah.
We start at one location and work our way to McFarland's Celtic Pub, which is our final location because they're one of our sponsors. So we end the stops there. Yeah, John's right. Downtown does have the better food. So we do a pub crawl on Friday night, and I'll do a rundown of some of the bigger events we have. We have a charity auction on Saturday afternoon, usually around noon to 1.
I'm sorry, a what auction?
Charity auction.
Oh, charity. Okay. They said cherry. I'm like, what's a cherry auction?
And we take a bottle of maraschino cherries.
I
and we
was I'm like going, why are you auctioning off cherries? Okay.
So we have
It's a new thing I don't know about.
New thing, yeah, it's a new. We're gonna start this new thing. It's called a cherry auction.
Okay, that'll work.
We're gonna.
It's a con.
It's a con, yeah. It's a con.
Con at the con.
So the charity auction will be, our charity auctions benefit a local organization in Lake Charles. We still have to contact them to verify if they would like to be their recipient this year. Our past charity auctions have raised close to about $9,000 to $10,000 combined.
Nice.
And they've all gone to local charities in town. Our last one we did in 19, I think we raised almost $2,000, which was our biggest charity auction to date. So we're expecting this one to be just as big for what we're doing now. Of course, that's Saturday because Saturday is your big day. You want to have all the big stuff on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you put on Saturday? Cosplay contest.
There you go.
So we're very hopeful this is going to happen, but we're not sure. But we've already planned to work around it. But Civic Center is still being renovated. All the common areas are still available to us. The Coliseum will not have any ceiling tiles in there, and the lighting will be rigged because it works. But we might not be able to use the theater like we were planning for. And our 2,000-seat auditorium theater, which is really the showstopper of what we do our cosplay contest, might not be available in time. And this is something we were told just recently, but that's not a big deal. They're trying to at least get something working for us. And if it doesn't happen, well, we're going to go back to our roots from year 1, which is kind of hilarious because there's a lot of things we're going back and doing like we did in year 1 that worked for us. It was almost like, well, we're going back and doing more anime guests for year 10. We're focusing on gaming and anime this time, just like we did in the original. And we told people this. 10th anniversary, we're going back to our roots. We're going back to the year 1, what we did year 1. So we're going to see more anime guests. We're going to see more gaming. That's what we want to do. But give them more. That's what this convention is about. So we might have to do the contest on the second floor, but the way the second floor is going to be laid out, food vending won't be up there on the second floor like it was in 2019. So we're going to move it.
Yeah, who do you see about donating an item for the auction?
So that would be. I'll get to that in a minute. So we're thinking if we have to do the cosplay contest, we'll do it on the second floor, and we can split it between 2 big rooms. So we can have one set of people in one room, and then the mezzanine, and you can look down. So we can have close to 2,500 people on that floor if we need to see this contest. It might be a little different. It might be a little odd, but that doesn't matter. It'll be unique and fun either way you look at it, because that's the point. It's going to be an interesting concept. We'll make it work if we have to. Hoping for the theater. Still planning for it, but you've got to have backup plans when you're dealing with this. Now, as far as the charity auction, okay. So we have a lot of items that were donated to us in previous years that are in our storage unit. We even have banners that were signed by our celebrities in the past that we auction off. Those are the big items that we like selling. And we're even going to sell the 2020 stuff that we had that we couldn't use because we think that's funny. And frankly, I don't want it in that unit anymore. I want it gone because it's bad memory. But no, auction items. If anybody wants to donate an auction item, they would have to do it on site. We don't take shipping or anything right now because of the situation we're in. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to be next few months are going to be kind of hectic for me moving out of my house while they're doing a remodel. So usually it would go to my place. Any items that would normally come to us would go to my place, which is going to be kind of here or there. But I would say that if anybody wants to donate anything, they would drop it off at the registration table in the front and say it's for the charity auction. And one of our program directors will be in charge of that. And that way you can say, hey, we're donating for the charity auction. Leave it with them. We'll take care of the rest. We really like items for the charity auction that are unique. We like items that are, hard to get. Collectibles, stuff like that. Something that's going to go to these charities, that's going to raise money for these charities that we really would love to. I would love to raise $2,500 this year for that charity. If we can have a goal of $2,500 this year, I would be ecstatic. And we could get it. The more people that come to the convention, the more people that want to get the auction items, they'll do it. But no, we always take donations. I mean, that would be fantastic because it'll all go to a good cause. We never keep any auction items. We get rid of them there on site. Unless somebody brings something in after the convention or gives it to us afterwards, we use for the following year. We always have a little bit of, we have CyPhaCon memorabilia we'll auction off every year for ourselves. But as far as like donations, oh yeah, we'll take them.
I have a couple questions. Number one,
Sure.
For those who aren't familiar with Lake Charles, what exactly is the venue titled? What's it called?
The venue is titled the Lake Charles Civic Center. It is right on the lakefront.
Easy peasy. Second of all, how is the parking there?
Parking's free.
Wait, okay.
Right now, they are using a portion of the parking lot for, I forgot what company is out of Hammond. They're using it for their company. They're renting it out so they can have their people come in and do training in Lake Charles. I have not been told if it's going to be released yet. And it's a big portion of the parking lot, like almost 100 slots. Now, not to be said, there is parking on the west side of the city. There's public parking all around in the government areas. All that parking is free for the weekend. You can park there. You can park a little further downtown and walk a block. But all of that area downtown will be available on a map. Anything in yellow is parking. They don't pay for parking at this venue. It's completely free.
Okay, and my other question is, how do they find out more about it online?
Oh, that's going to be simple. We have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, Instagram, and of course our website. I will tell people first and foremost, like our Facebook and Instagram. All the information you're going to need is going to be on that website.
CyPhaCon.com?
.org.
Okay. Now, where did the name CyPhaCon come from?
So phonetically spell it out. CyPhaCon.
Ah, got it.
And then this is a time when Sci-Fi changed their letters to SYFY. So we decided that we were going to change it up and make it a little fun and spell it a little differently so no one could have this name uniquely. And that's where we came up with the name, and it became our moniker. It took us literally 3 weeks to figure it out how we're going to come up with the name. And one person said, why don't you call it a CyPhaCon? And I'm like, what? Say it quick. And when they said it, I said, that's it. It was a joke, and yet that was the final name, and that's what it became.
I've never heard anybody else use it, but it's a unique way to come up with a name. I like it.
It really is.
No one
Definitely.
will forget it. And the
Oh
fact
God,
that
no. I can tell you right now, the tickets are on sale through Ticketmaster, and I know people don't like Ticketmaster, but unfortunately, we got to use it with a venue. But tickets are on sale, and we also have tickets on sale locally in Lake Charles at Paper Heroes, which is our local comic book shop. I'm about to give you the prices because the prices go up and change a little bit. Let's see here. All right, so we got different pass prices for the event. At the door, children 6 and under are free the whole weekend. 7 to 12 ages are $10 a day or $15 for the weekend. And then we have our Friday pass is $25. Saturday is $35. Sunday is $25, and the weekend is $55.
So it's very financially family friendly.
It is. And we do not, and Saturday being the biggest day, we do not feel that it's good enough to, or required to raise the price on that date. Because if a family's coming in, we don't have a family discount because the way Ticketmaster works, you can't make a bulk ticket sale.
Mm.
So we always tell people, and even on our website, we specifically say this. If you go to Ticketmaster at the box office, do not use a card because it will charge you that fee. But if you pay cash, there are no fees. Whatever our price is, that's what you're going to pay in cash. We would prefer cash, obviously, mostly because it's easier for the Civic Center to count. And also I'm saying this for people that come, it's better for y'all because you're not having to pay the fees on each and every ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You pay them on every ticket, it's going to add up $250 per ticket. If you buy 10 tickets, that's $10.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better just to have the cash in hand and just buy your ticket at the door, or buy it online. If you want to get it online, that's totally up to you. But at the door sell about 80% of our tickets are at the door.
Is there a discount code?
There are no discount codes on there. Currently, the weekend pass is on sale for, I believe, I'm going to go to the Ticketmaster site and double check it. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Internet's low over here. I'm using my fast internet at home. Let me see. This Ticketmaster's fun. One ticket. Currently, right now, the promo ticket for weekend is $50. So right now it's $50 right now.
Pretty good.
It's $5 off now, but when you add the fees to it, of course, it'll you can go to the promo weekend ticket and do that, and then it'll be I'll just an example with the fees. I'll do that real quick. So for a weekend ticket, which would be normally what you're looking at, your ticket price would be with a fee $66.20. So you add it's almost $12 difference.
Yeah, and then you times that by the amount that you buy, it's going to be a massive difference.
It increases, yeah. And I mean, I understand for people that are out of town, we've all used Ticketmaster for concerts.
Mm-hmm.
We know the idea is you buy the ticket online, you're going to get in faster, but that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a will call line. You turn your ticket in, get your badge. You're going to have to not stand in line to verify your ticket. We get it, and we try to make it easy on everybody. We really do.
So there's like the convenience aspect versus the financial aspect. If you're more for convenience, do it on
Right.
Ticketmaster. If not, do it when you get there.
And the other thing I was going to bring up for Saturday night was the party. Now, this is a separate ticket for the party because we can't allow everybody in the venue to go upstairs because it would be a fire hazard. So it would be a $10 ticket to go and see the concerts on Saturday night, and that would be cash only downstairs at registration, separate from Ticketmaster.
What are the concerts?
We're working on 2 people, but one of the bands is Suzaku 7 that's been very popular with us has been our house band for literally 7 years. And also one of the major aspects of MechaCon before they ended, that was their main performing band. So they will be performing that night. We're looking at possibly a couple DJs coming in to finish up the party, but we're not sure yet. Like I said, we are still slowly rolling out the final guests because your big guests you announce early on so you get people hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get to add the icing on the cake, and that's what we're going to start doing in the next few weeks.
So
Very
for those
nice.
who tuned in late, who were the guests again that you named earlier?
All righty. So we have Doug Jones, Tim Russ,
Yes.
Eric Vale, Aaron Dismuke, Danny Chambers, Sarah Weidenheft, and John Swayze. And then we also have featured guest, special guest. Let's see. Well, one of them is very big for MechaCon, is Queen D, who is going to be our MC for our cosplay contest. That was one of the very, very, very special guests we wanted to bring in because D is probably one of the best MCs you could find for any cosplay contest in the South.
Nice.
One of the big things. And we will have Take One Productions, which is the improv group out of Oklahoma. They're going to be there again, one of our big groups. And we got a few other things coming.
The Con Hour is going to be there.
Oh yeah,
Yes, the
exactly.
Con Hour will be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
And
Greg will be again.
I will be there as an author, and Veronica Smith, and there should be more announcements on that coming up.
Oh,
soon
yeah.
too.
We're going to be announcing all of our author guests pretty soon. So
Very
So make
cool.
sure to follow the Facebook group, which is who did that? Who said Trevor?
Trevor. Booze.
I will say on Saturday we will have the bar set up for anybody that wants to drink on Saturday. We won't do it on Friday because we've got the pub crawl, and Sunday's kind of we're not doing it on Sunday.
So you do the pub crawl.
We got to drive home on Sunday.
Pub crawl
Yeah,
Friday
exactly.
night, and then you crawl into the venue and you can have the alcohol.
You're drinking, yeah. So that way you stumble out Sunday, you'll be hungover.
So the vendors are going to be selling like a crap ton of stuff on Saturday because everyone's going to be
That's
like,
kind of the idea, right?
Sure, why not?
That's kind of the idea.
Exactly. That works.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I want to
that.
thank you for being on our show.
Absolutely.
And can't wait to be there April 1st through 3rd, CyPhaCon. And like CJ said, we will be there. I will be there. And there's tons of guests. Go to their website to see the guests or their Facebook page. I did post them on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. So check them out. And
John,
we look forward to seeing y'all on Tuesday.
Yes.
The dog.
Yeah, I saw that.
John.
Of course, it would be John.
Is John going to be in his Doc Ock outfit? That's the question. Or is he going to be working?
I will say if he can get to those 10-foot aisles, that might be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if he could do it. So yeah, we'll see you Tuesday at 11 o'clock, our regularly scheduled time.
Yes. And until then,